Good morning, everyone. I am G. Likita from CSIT. My AIT Techtalk topic is 10 steps for effective listening. Effective listening. We are going to discuss about the definition of effective listening, types of listening, levels of listening, process of listening, barriers to effective listening, developing listening skills, tips for effective listening, 9 commandments of effective listening, importance of listening in business, objective of effective listening. Definition of listening. Listening means paying attention and focusing with the intention of understanding and responding appropriately. Listening requires concentration so that your brain processes meaning from words and sentences. Types of listening. There are few types of listening. They are active listening, passive listening, selective listening, attentive listening, critical listening, and content listening. Active listening. It is also called paraphrasing and empathetic listening. The advantages of active listening. Some of the advantages are active listening shows respect to the speaker. Active listening helps the listener stay focused on the conversation and to remember what he or she hears. Next, passive listening. Passive listening refers to inert or indifferent listening. Passive listening, it must be emphasized, is a negative listening behavior. It is, however, useful when a student engaged in serious private study has to contend with music playing nearby, which he listens to passively. Next, selective listening. Selective listening means the person hear only what he want to hear. He hear some of the message and immediately begin to formulate your reply or second guess the speaker without waiting for the speaker to finish. Example, don't waste your time with explanations. People only hear what they want to hear. This is said by the Paulo. Levels of listening. Marginal listening. If the pace of speaking of the speaker is slow, the listener does a marginal listening, which implies that the listener may let his or her mind stray while someone is talking. Evaluate listening. This occurs when a listener gets some free time to evaluate the speaker's message during the oral communication. Projective listening. This listening provides the listeners with the greatest potential for effective communication to utilize their time fully. Processes of listening. First, hearing and then decoding, comprehending, remembering, and responding. This is the process of listening. Hearing. First one is hearing. This is the first essential step in listening. There should be certain attentiveness or concentration in receiving verbal messages. Hearing relates to receiving the words sent out to the speaker for further processing by the listener. Decoding. The next step relates to decoding. This involves sensing and filtering of the verbal message. The message is decoded by the listener. After the decode message, thereafter sent to the next process. Comprehending. The next level of listening consists of understanding. The filtered message assumes a meaning. This activity can also be described as observing, grasping, or assimilating. The listener has now understood what the speaker has tried to convey. Remembering. This is another important phase of listening. The listener remembered the message sent by the speaker. Listener stored the message in memory to facilitate future recall. Responding. This is the last step of listening. Response of the listener may take place at the end of the verbal communication or even earlier, when it is intended to provide feedback to the communicator. Barriers to effective listening. Environmental. Adverse conditions like hot weather. Semantic. Speaker style of speaking and mannerisms. Personal. Fear, anger, and anxiety. Boredom, belief, attitude, and preconceived ideas. Hunger, tiredness, and pain. Sociocultural. different cultural backgrounds, personal space and sense of time, etc. Developing listening skills. We can develop listening skills by particular points like concentration, mental alertness, empathy, comprehension, appreciation, note taking. Some of the tips for effective listening are: establish rapport with the speaker. An important requisite for effective listening is to develop a positive chemistry between a listener and a speaker. It helps the listener to keep track of what speaker speaks and also helps him or her to prevent his or her mind from going wayward. Make eye contact. For interpreting the non-verbal clues, a proper eye contact is particularly important. Some people may claim when they listen, keeping their eyes closed, they listen most effectively. They may claim that this may act as aid to better their communication. An upright posture. Posture too is very important for an effective listening. An upright posture helps a listener to have better concentration. At the same time, it is seen by the speaker to be a positive, physically relaxed, affecting mental relaxations too, which hinder effective concentration and a successful listening. Remove distractions. Avoid actions that suggest your mind is somewhere else. Distractions may make the speaker feel you are bored or uninterested. The source of distractions come from within you, as when you daydream, the outside environment, the speaker's accent. 9 commandments of effective listening are: first one, stop talking. You cannot listen when you are talking. You will only be thinking about what you are going to say next instead of paying attention to what other person is trying to say. So first of all, we have to stop talking, and after listening we have to reply for the thing what they said. Put the speaker at ease, relax, smile. Look at the speaker and help that person feel free to talk. Look and act interested. Remove distractions like playing with paper on table, etc. While the speaker is speaking, we have to glow our face, like we have to smile, like they have to feel comfort while we are talking. And then pay attention to non-verbal language of physical gestures, facial expressions, tone of voice and body posture. Even their non-verbal language, you have to pay attention by seeing their expressions, or by knowing their physical gestures. You have to understand that what they are saying. That is the meaning, or that is one of the commandment of listening. Listen for what is not said. Ask questions to clarify the meaning of words and the feelings involved, or ask the speaker to enlarge on a statement. People often find it difficult to speak up about matters or experiences that are very important. Even there are some difficulties in the words which they are said by the speaker. Then some people will be there with you that they can't express their feelings. At that time, you have to speak up and you have to ask that again to explain it again. Then it will be useful to the side people also. And this is one of the commandment of the effective listening. Know exactly what the other person is saying. Reflect back what the other person has said in a shared meaning experience, so you completely understand the meaning and content of the message before you reply to it. A good listener does not assume they understand the other person. The person should reflect back, and we have to reflect back that for what they are saying. Sixth one, concentrate on hidden emotional meanings. What are the real feelings behind the words? What is the tone of voice saying? What does the emphasis on certain words meaning? Just concentrate. Some of the words will be with emotional words, like some of the hidden words. Just listen what in which tone they are saying and what is the meaning of the tone in the word they said. Next, be patient. Don't interrupt the speaker. This is disrespectful and suggests that you want to talk instead of listening. Be cautious and allow plenty of time for the speaker to convey ideas and meaning. While listening, you should be quiet, you should be patient, and you have to listen what the speaker is going to convey. Maybe what you are going to interrupt will be in the next line. So just wait and listen that what they are saying. After listening, it will be helpful for you. If you interrupt in between the speech, then it may become disrespectful. So be patient. Hold your temper. Try to keep your own emotions from interfering with your listening efficiency. When emotions are high, there is tendency to tune out the speaker, become defensive, or want to give advice. You don't want to agree to be a good listener. If you want to advise them or if you want to say something to them, just hold it on. After completing, you can advise them. But if you interrupt in between, then it will be not a good listener skill. It will become a disrespectful thing and it is defensive thing. So just hold your temper. Next, empathize with the speaker. Try to walk in the other's shoes so you can feel what the person is feeling and understand the point of view the speaker is trying to convey. While listening, you have to think from their way. Don't think from your point of view. Just think from their point of view, then you will understand the meaning what the speaker is going to say, whatever the thing is. For example, according to politics, just think from their way, then it will be positive. If you think from your way, then obviously it will be negative. So just empathize with the speaker. And the importance of effective listening in business. Verbal communication involves both speaking and listening. In a business organization, listening is key to effective working relationships among employees and between management and staff. Listening skills also impact a company's interaction with customer and other businesses. To improve your listening skills, give the other person your full attention and maintain eye contact. When she is done speaking, rephrase her remarks and ask whether you understand her correctly. Objective of effective listening. First of all, it helps in getting the real meaning of the message. It helps in reaching good and successful decisions if the message received is of good quality. Good listening leaves its impact on others. It removes the chances of mistakes repetition. Some of the elements of effective listening is the positive attitude, concentration, discipline, question time and body posture. You should maintain a positive attitude or smile on the face while listening. And next, concentration. What the speaker is going to say, you should listen carefully. And discipline. You should listen with discipline. Question time. If you have to ask the question in time, maybe the answer should be in next line. So we have to just wait and ask the question at the correct time. Next, body posture. Thank you.